Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick Christmas Countdown. Alonso Duralde, William Bibbiani, talking about 25 of my favorite holiday movies every day in December or until Christmas. Most of these films are featured in my book, Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas, now available. But this actually is a film that came out the same year that my book did, so it did not make the cut only because of timing. So if I ever get to do a volume 2, this one's totally going to be in there.
Do a volume 2.
Oh, I got to finish selling volume 1 first.
Buy my book!
Check out Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale.
What do you want?
$85,000.
Mitä helvettiä tää tapahtuu?
Santa is going to find out who is naughty or nice.
Rauhallista joulua.
So Rare Exports kind of flew under a lot of people's radar, and it is such a shame because I feel like if Steven Spielberg did an evil Santa movie, this is what it would be.
Yeah.
It's got a really, really great sense of sort of classical Christmas melodrama, but it's also really inventive with the way it handles it. The idea is that, you know, a lot of people know that at the root of the myth of Santa Claus, there's other darker versions of it, like the Krampus, for example, which is also a good Christmas horror movie. But here, the idea is some rich billionaire with an obsession has found the tomb of Santa Claus. It's in a mountain, and he's trying to unearth Santa Claus. And
In Lapland.
There's a great bit at the beginning where you find out that all of the construction workers at this site have a list of rules, and the rules are basically not to be naughty.
Yeah.
Because they'll get you.
Very strict behavior on this construction site.
And near the construction site, there is a family of hunters, and there's a down on his luck dad and a very clever but very young and innocent young boy who they hunt deer for the holidays. That's going to be their big financial windfall for the year. And then it turns out they've all been slaughtered by some mysterious force. And then they capture what appears to be Santa Claus, a creepy, evil, immortal kind of old man who may want to kill them all and may have already kidnapped all the kids in town. Such a fun concept.
I do like when you mentioned the Spielberg angle. The kid's POV in this movie is so strong, and the kid himself is so charismatic.
Yeah.
You know that you're sort of taking in these things that make no sense to the adults, but he's sort of got a handle on it because you know.
That's a great thing. I think we really had a lot of those in like the 80s with films like The Last Starfighter or The Monster Squad or Goonies, where the adults have their real problems, but only the kids know what's really going on. And only the kids who actually still believe in Santa Claus will actually be able to do something about Santa Claus. To the film's credit, like I think there's a really obvious way to take this story, and it doesn't go there.
No, absolutely.
I don't want to ruin it for you. There's some really weird turns it takes in the second half. They all make sense, and they're all very thrilling and exciting. But yeah, this is not a conventional movie in a lot of ways, but it has all of the things that we connect to in a lot of these great kids movies. I love this movie. I think the movie's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's really great, and I wish more people knew about it. And I think it's gathering a cult as the years go by. But it's also one of those movies that sort of plays with a mythological narrative that we know, but skews it in a way that we're able to understand what this version of it is and what the rules are and how we fix it and all that kind of thing. And so I think it's really smart about that stuff. And again, you know, we've talked about this with some of the other holiday films. It plays into, even if you take the Krampus and whoever else out of the picture, there is sort of a dark underside to Santa as being this like judgmental, observational figure who like knows everything you do and has an opinion about it.
Yeah, a lot of Christmas horror movies deal with that. We just talked about Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is another one. I think we're going to talk about one more soon. But but what's kind of cool about this is that also you take out all these supernatural elements. This would still be a good story about a boy and his father having trouble at Christmas.
Oh, like, totally, yeah.
All of that human drama. There's a bit where the kid is hungry, and it's like Christmas Eve, and all they have are the gingerbread cookies. That's dinner. We made them. We thought we were going to have dinner, but all of the deer are dead, so make it work, kid. And it's really sad. I also want to single out, because I think this doesn't get talked about enough, Rare Exports is one of the prettiest Christmas movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, believe me, if you have seen the fake snow machine that gets trundled out for every Hallmark movie, the idea of actually being in, the very tippy top of the northern hemisphere at Christmas time, that's some gorgeous snow.
The lighting is beautiful. Even just Christmas lights look better in this movie. And Christmas lights are like an old cinematography trick. The background's lame. They have Christmas lights. They have Christmas lights in the back of their apartment. It's just there to distract you. Here, it's like they foreground them, and they know how magical this whole thing can be. And then they also know when to pull it back and make it creepy, and wow, they do a good job.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like, there is some sort of genuine kind of holiday magic to the film, but it also has a very dark undertone, and the moments where we are not sure what's going on, and they build some genuine suspense and some real terror. The director, Jalmari Helander, I'm surprised has not sort of had the siren call to Hollywood, because
he did make one English language movie, or mostly English language movie, which I actually think that flew under the radar too.
Big Game, yes.
Big Game flew under everyone's radar.
President Samuel L. Jackson.
President Samuel L. Jackson's plane crash lands into like the woods, and the kid from Rare Exports is on like a spiritual journey. He's got to go hunt the biggest game he can, and then come back, and he will be declared a man. And it turns out he runs into the president. The biggest game this kid can hunt is terrorists. And boy, is that fun. It just, Samuel Jackson interacting with this kid, and there's all these asides, like in Under Siege, where you see people in the war room, and it's like everyone's like way too good an actor for it. Like Jim Broadbent is in it, and you're just like, how'd you get Jim Broadbent?
Okay, I gotta see this thing.
It's a fun movie, and it's another one that I think really just people need to discover. It's obviously it's rather silly, but it knows it. It's a blast. So this director needs bigger chances, needs more money, or I don't know what, but give him more opportunities, because he's doing some very entertaining things.
Yeah. So, but if you've never seen Rare Exports, and you're feeling like you have seen all the Christmas movies you need to see, well, you're wrong.
Well, because we're not adding as many Christmas movies to the canon anymore, and it's a shame, because actually almost every year there's at least one or two new good ones. Yeah, but like we keep falling back. I feel like the last movie that like we just all agreed is one of the great Christmas movies is Love Actually, which is a great Christmas movie, and I love that movie. But like there's a few since that maybe we need to start seriously looking at and making part of the regular rotation.
Yeah, I mean it's a tricky call every year, and certainly again I think Hallmark has sort of eaten up so much of the kind of sweet and sentimental kind that what we're seeing theatrically now is the dawn of the R-rated Christmas comedy, following up with Bad Santa, and then maybe some that are aimed at more specific markets, like we seem to get at least one big African American Christmas movie every year. You know?
And that's great. Honestly, we need more. I think whether or not you are a believer, or even if you celebrate Christmas at all, it's hard to deny that Christmas is a very driving part of the American culture and even the world culture in a lot of ways, even just economically. You just can't escape it. And making movies about that experience is really, really relevant, and we need to see different perspectives on it. And I think, you're right. Hallmark has cornered the market on comfort. Just, hey, have a cup of hot cocoa and everything will be okay. And I've been at really low points in my life, and Hallmark has been there for me, and I appreciate that. I also appreciate that they're not very good, and in order to compete with that comfort mechanism that Hallmark has, Hollywood needs to step up their game and do bigger, different things. The R-rated Christmas comedy is an obvious choice, but you can also do something like Rare Exports. Just be super creative.
I was going to say, and frankly, maybe sometimes a little discomfort is what we need, and that's what you got here. Another movie I want to recommend. It's not one of the 25 we're doing this year, but it's currently streaming, and it's out on Blu-ray in December. A new horror comedy called Better Watch Out. Which is very clever and unsettling, and will keep you guessing until the very end. So,
I have not seen that one yet.
If you guys like your Christmas movies a lot, it's one to check out. So we'll be back every day until Christmas with more holiday favorites. Thanks for watching.
Happy holidays.